This song was a song that was made famous in our community by our Momma Jahi, who was an innovator, who was the most loving person that you could ever come upon, who was bold and fierce, and one of the greatest preschool teachers ever to walk this earth. And it's not a coincidence that one came to replace him. Our Momma Kusun, another greatest preschool teacher. And one of our greatest tasks as adults, as mothers and fathers and uncles and sisters and brothers, are that we've got to teach our children. I mean teach, not talk to, not okay, well maybe, no, teach. Like I used to tell my children, God sent you through me and it is my responsibility and I'm going to do it the best that I can. So if you're mad at me, it's alright. And I know you love me, but it paid off. So this song is all about our Omode and our parents and us as a people.
Teach the children what they need to survive. Don't let them be misled by the same old lies. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We taught them well, like we should. No, but now, some way, somehow, we gotta teach the children.
Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the world you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children.
Teach the children what it means to stand. Fight against all oppression. Help their fellow man. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
We taught them well, like we should. No, by gotta teach the children.
Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the world you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children.
Teach the children what it means to be free. The only unshackled minds can break chains of slavery. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
We taught them well, like we should. Know by now.
You know by now.
Some way, somehow, gotta teach
to liberate? Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children.
Teach the children that the truth they must take a stand. Fight against all oppression. There's no plan. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
If we talk about it like we should, know by now.
You know by now. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. You have to educate the children. The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. If the one you want to liberate, don't you know you have to educate the children? The children.
Thanks again for the music this morning. Give a song of fire around this applause. Really good to see all of you. Welcome again, our Omode family, because we are one community. If you heard, sometimes in the newspaper, like they report the wrong stories, like the headline is off. Somebody says, well, Omode's over here, Omode's over here. It's one community. I said, Omode community started, Omode grew out of it, just like other things have grown out of this community. So this morning, we have the distinct pleasure of hearing a historical tribute. A historical tribute is part of every one of our worship services from the time we started in December of 1980. And we think it's really important to keep our history alive and operating in the minds and hearts of our people. Every Sunday we do this because we say if we teach our history, we'll do at least three things. One, remind ourselves that when African people, the people of African descent have been the greatest, have been the most successful, been the, just the baddest people on earth, it was because we had a spiritual belief. We had spiritual practice. We believed in God, whatever that name may have been. Number two, we said if we teach our history, then our children will understand that whatever it was that our ancestors did that was great, and even when they made mistakes, we can learn from that greatness, learn from those mistakes, and do better. And third, that we can always do well in life when we put our hand in the hand of God. So this morning, he's going to come and do a historical tribute. He really, how they use that cliche, he's a man that needs no introduction. And he kind of doesn't, because he's always around. He's always working. He's trained as a software engineer. He's a proud father of 3. He is a husband. He's a son, and he's the director of Omode School. And please welcome Jahi to come forward.
it is my esteemed pleasure to sit down today and let the new charges take over. So I'm going to introduce some young scholars who are the result of a lot of good teachers. So I'm going to introduce some individuals. We have two folks who are tag teaming on our tribute today. The first one is a young brother named Kilinde Sakrisi, and he has been, he joined our school. His family joined the community last year, and he come up quick, fast, and in a hurry. He is a strong student. He is probably the most, no, not probably, he is the most well-mannered child I have ever seen in my life. His parents right there. And when he first came here, if y'all recall back in the day of, was it Leave the Beaver, Eddie Haskell? He was like, we just wait. We wait for the next one. We go by, and we realized this is just his brother. You know, he has this very deep, humble, sincere spirit about himself. And it's just good to see him grow up. Growing up, I should say. I would also say that in about a year or so, if you have daughters, you know, back in the day, the adults would identify folks they wanted to pair with their own children. If we were in that time period right now, there'd be parents lined up trying to take his number. So I bring you Kilinde Sakrisi.
Good morning. Good morning. As you know, my name is Kilinde Sakrisi. I'm in the 7th grade right now. And I will give a tribute to you all know. Her name is Zornell Hurston, a very famous writer. Zornell Hurston was an exceptional woman, as you all know. During her time on this earth, she has been through a lot of trials and tribulations. Zornell Hurston was born in 1891 in Notosoba, Alabama. She moved to Eatonville, Florida, the first all-black township in the United States. She was not a shy person, excuse me, and was adventurous. Her mother understood this, but her father had a harder time understanding that. Growing up in Eatonville gave her a strong black self-image because where she was growing, everybody was black. Zornell Hurston was later known for her writings and works. She wrote her first novel in 1934. In 1935, she wrote Mules and Men, a collection of black folktales. In 1937, some of you may know this, Their Eyes Were Watching God, was published and is considered her best work. In her final years, she died broken and alone, unfortunately. By the 1950s, very few people paid attention to her work. When she died, she didn't even have enough money for her own burial site. But Alice Walker, as you may know her, a famous writer, put money towards her burial site by searching for a grave site. Thank you.
Now, for a lot of young males, it is most times true. You know them by the car they drive. With scholars, you know them by the books they read. This young brother, Kilinde, about maybe 3 weeks ago, he came in here. I think he had a Miseducation of the Negro, or he had one of Frantz Fanon's works. I'm thinking, what is this brother reading? Oh my goodness! And then this week he's picked up How to Eat to Live by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm going, whoa, that was serious. The next brother is also distinguished by the books that he reads. I teach him science. I've taught him science for the last couple of years or so, and he's one cat that I have to be on my toes with all the time because he would check me regularly because he reads books on science, air flights. That is his passion. So at a very young age, he already is very clear about what his passion is. And this, I call him Dr. Malik Bassett. He is the son of Dr. Bassett and Ahmed Patrice, and he's a serious scholar. He's in my geometry class and science class and doing a fantastic work. I bring you Dr. Malik Bassett.
Good morning, everybody. My grandfather, Charles Malcolm Curry, was born My grandfather, Charles Malcolm Curry, was born to Maggie Lee Curry and Willis Curry on April 3, 1940 in Watauga, Oklahoma. He attended Dunbar School, Watauga High School, and San Diego City College. At Watauga High School, Charles excelled academically and was a star athlete in football, basketball, and track and field. Charles was an all-district halfback and played on the 1956 and 1957 Watauga High School district winning basketball team with his brother Willie Curry. After graduating from Watauga High School in 1958, Charles married his childhood sweetheart, Dorothy Lyons. That same year, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. During his tour of duty, Charles served as a radio man on the USS Ticonderoga aircraft carrier, receiving an honorable discharge in 1964. Establishing a home with his wife and family in San Diego, California, Charles was employed with major shipbuilding and aircraft manufacturing companies. Taking advantage of training and promotional opportunities, Charles worked in the aircraft manufacturing industry for more than 30 years and took early retirement as a senior manufacturing engineer. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna pass this one around. If you can identify his grandfather, you receive a free door prize. He's a black guy. So we want to take a little time to honor one of our own.
Yes.
I've been to school for about, I lose count. When you're having fun, you stop counting years. So it's been about 12 years. And when I got here, I was a rookie. She was already a deep veteran. There's a movie that I've seen. It's called The Fixer. And in this movie, they call this person out whenever there's a problem. You call in the fixer, right? Clean stuff up, get it right again. And over the years, she's been our fixer since I've been here. Whenever there was a turmoil in the preschool, or we needed some stuff, like new folks come in, had to be trained, we need to get stuff rectified, get on ship again, because it's hard to find someone to come in and teach here because our standards are pretty high. We can't just hire anybody. We put out notices for job for our preschool staff, and we spend probably the bulk of the search process weeding through folks who have nothing to do with this community. And then you get to the folks who look like us, it's like, but you didn't really understand what it means to be black. So many times we got to call them up with someone to come in and clean up shop. And every time she comes through and she does a fantastic job of getting our ship right again and putting us back on course again. So that is our fixer. I was sad this past summer when she came to me and said that she had to resign because she wanted to spend more time with the family's business, Destin's Plumbing. Also as an entrepreneur, I know what it's like. We as men do a lot of work. We think that we do some good work, and Brother Destin, as you know, if you ever call him, your stuff gets fixed. It does. We gotta call him back next week, next month. Oh, there's another drip someplace. No, it's done. So we're really good at that. But sometimes you need the sisters to come in and handle the business. So I understand. Because if it wasn't for seeing, boy, I'd be. So I understand. Take care of family business. So we're gonna call up Mama Kelly. Come and say a little bit about Mama Kusun, and there's some parents who volunteered. They said, I've got to say something about Mama Kusun because she meant so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mama Kelly. I was really happy to have this day for Mama Kusun. I just love her so much. It was so funny, the first day of school, my son he's in kindergarten now. So the whole summer, everything has been kindergarten. Couldn't wait to get to kindergarten. First day of school, we get here, and it's like you get to eat downstairs with the big kids. You know, he's happy. We get in here, everybody eating. I'm searching, can't find the boy. Looking all over the place. Here come Mama Kusun walking downstairs with him. Well, he came into preschool saying, "Where's my seat?" Right to Mama Kusun. So I had to let him know, you're here. You're not with Mama Kusun. You're with Mama Shanti now. Now we doing morning circle outside. Can't find the boy. All of a sudden, here come Mama Kusun, dragging him outside. 3 times that day, she had to drag him out of preschool. Same thing the next day. He loves Mama Kusun. Baba Car loves Mama Kusun, just like so many other families, so many other kids. She has a caring nature about her that's just, it's unbelievable. And Mama Kusun, I appreciate you so much for everything you have done. Right now, I'm gonna call up Mama Chantal, who has Marley and Lawrence here. Marley started off in preschool. She's a 1st grader now. And Lawrence is pre-K.
My goodness.
Again, good morning, giving honor to God. I'm in your pulpit, so I have to do that. And to the Volse community for welcoming the parents this morning. This is my first time here, and I'm loving it. If I wasn't born into a church, I'd be a member here. But yes, I will split my time while I have this life. I just want to come to say, first of all, I cried when Mama Kelly sent me the text that Mama Kusun was going to be here this year. My family loves her. Marley started off at 3 years old in her class, and we couldn't wait for the baby that was, 1 year old to get to her class. And I'm just so blessed that he got 1 year with that lady. He's, a boy, and our black men need to be here. And she's one of those people that you knew when you dropped off your child, they were going to be in check, they were going to be learning, and they were going to eat all their food. She came to this school not eating bread, and the first time I volunteered and sat in class and saw her eat, Mama was like, you didn't know? Like, she eats bread, and if she's hungry, that's what she's going to eat. And I was like, okay, thank you. And despite people, sometimes thinking that she might be a little hard, our children need it. And I love it, and this school brings a home atmosphere like what you would do and see at home, and that's what I love. My husband loves you, Mama Kusun. He's not a talkative person, but he respects that lady. He speaks to her. One thing that I can say is that she teaches outside of this school. She helped us with little things that we needed to know as new parents. Telling us what we don't need to do, and this is why she's acting like this, or this is why he's acting like this. Stop doing this at home. And we took it. I said, what Mama Kusun said, right? And we follow it like she's our little Bible at home. Also, the words on my heart this morning is that we live in purpose and we live on purpose. That's what I was taught coming up as a young lady, to find my purpose. And I think Mama Kusun found her purpose. And when we're living on purpose, we're giving instead of receiving. And she gave, and she's still giving, because she's giving to her family. I just want to let you know that we love you, we will miss you, we miss you right now, but we have to respect that God shifts us, and He's giving you your shift. And you've taken it, and you're going to help your family. And you had your season here, but now it's over. And we love you, and we will miss you. And this is from the Richard family, just to let you know that we love you.
I'm not sure how many members have been to our Ancestor Day. Mama Kusun started it 2 years ago. She said, I'm going to do a small little classroom gathering. I'm going to give each child in the classroom an ancestor a little phrase to say. And it started off being something very small until I came into the picture. It escalated. So it went from something that was in the classroom to actual assembly to families coming in. And she talked with the parents. We had parents coming up, well, I don't know anything about this ancestor. You need to Google it. You need to research it. You are responsible for making sure your child is dressed as this ancestor. She didn't send home the wording because she wanted that to be a gift to the parents. But as far as making sure your child was dressed to the T, she made sure every parent did that. And every child came in here identical to their ancestor. We did it again last year. It just has grown and grown. So she already knows this year. Sorry, Baba Nai, but she has to be here for it.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. We had that school talk already. Like she has to get a list of the ancestors, match it with the kids, get their wording. That's your trademark. Can I have Mama Amaya come up and say a few words? And Ashe.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so thankful to be here today. Thankful to be a part of this community. I am the daughter of some educators and some people who always push me to search and seek out truth wherever I go. And so, working in the field of education, I got really overwhelmed when thinking of my options for my child. Frankly, a lot of the schools out here are not good enough. And I had Ashe in a preschool in Berkeley. I attended the preschool many moons ago, but it is not the same place. And I was being confronted with people who looked at my daughter and said she needed services for different things. And it never sat well with me. And given I'm a single parent, her father is around, but he's in another state, and my family is not here, I thought, I can't be, and I can't subject my daughter to a life of pills or different remedial, anything remedial. And it's so interesting because my housemate, Baba Hadari, he heard me speak one night. I was really frustrated. And he told me to check out Omode website. And I did, and I saw Ancestor Day. And I started crying. I'm like, oh, that's the school. We're going there. We're going to be there. I said, how far? I'm looking, how, is it only elementary? How far does it go? I saw that it was 8th grade. So we there. I already knew before we came. But then I met Mama Kusun. And Mama Kusun has done wonders with my daughter. I mean, I'm trying not to get emotional, but all of you have loved us so well and provided us with such just a warm place to really explore our brilliance and really be who we are meant to be. And to have my daughter to be a part of this community means so much. And I'm so thankful, Mama Kusun. You have done such a wonderful job. She is excelling far beyond my even understanding of what she's supposed to be doing, and exceeding my expectations, to even realize that my expectations were a little low. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate this whole community, and I'm thankful that we are here, and we are, constantly reassessing and thinking of what's next. So thank you for having me and being a part of this.
She's looking at me funny, but I'm putting her on the spot. Mama Shanti, can you come up?
She's a veteran. She can help.
I didn't know. I kind of knew Kelly was going to bring me up here, but I wasn't quite sure. Anyhow, Mama Kusun, we go a long way. She had my son, who is now 15. So I know Mama Kusun. And I really appreciated you as a teacher when you had Tajiri, because he was so quiet and you were just, I love your strictness. I just love how stern you are with the young children, and it's such a mother figure, the mother, like my mother. And I appreciate you for that. And I just thank you for just being who you are and always talking to me and talking me down from my moods that I may have at times, and just being very family oriented and just a wonderful example for younger women in our community. You know, I'm always able to come and talk to you, and you just really set a really positive foundation for the family. You and your husband and your children, it's good to see that in the community. So thank you for being who you are, and I miss you. I want you to come back or come and hang out in my classroom sometime. The students would love to have you and see you. Thank you.
This summer was so funny. Me and Mama Kusun, somehow we took the role of babysitting Mama Shanti's turtle. It was so funny. We would have Baba Dafo get the turtle and bring it outside to get some sun. And me and Mama Kusun, like two little bitty kids running outside so we could see this we could see this turtle. And we would spend, like 15, 20 minutes literally just watching this turtle. Mama Kusun, you have such a fun side to you. And I just love you to pieces. So without further ado, can you please come up? So we have a certificate of appreciation, and we want to present to you for all of your hard work, dedication, and love. It's presented from Omode community in the Omode school. A few fun picture reminders from us to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was not necessary, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. I thank my family, and I do thank Omode and Rose. My children grew up in here. And all this goes to the ladies that came before me. Mama Jasiri, Mama Akanona, Mama Oyen, and Mama Nimet to some degree. She really coached me, and she taught me how to say no. Because I didn't know how to say no. When somebody asked me something and I couldn't do it, but I'd do it. And she pulled me aside, she said, you need to learn how to say no. How do I say no? She said, okay. She sent somebody and said, go ask her this. And she came in and I said, okay, I'll do it. She said, tell her no. I was like, okay, I'm going to tell her no. But I don't know how to, but I learned. So this goes to all those ladies before me, because without them, I would not be standing here, because I learned their ways. They taught me a lot. I came from a different place. Culturally, it was kind of same, but otherwise it was a little different because I looked different. So they have to accept me. I grew up with people looking like you all back there, but I guess people here didn't grow up with people looking like me here. So it was really difficult for them. But for these ladies, at one look, like love at first sight, that's what it was between me, Mama Jasiri, Mama Okanona. I mean, she just took me in, and with Mama Namat. So this goes to those ladies again. And my parents, thank you for having the faith in me. I know it's a hard thing. As a mother, I would really check somebody out before I left my children with them. And you all did trust me. I really appreciate that. And for the Ili Omode staff, Mama Kelly, Ashanti, Mama Tian, Kelly again, and Baba Jahi, and Mr. Abubakar. He's my friend. We've been here from the get-go, so he's not here today, but I really thank him and all the support that he gave me for the years that I was here. And Mama Rose, definitely, she always looked out for me, my lunch. Okay, this is for Mama Kusun. Don't touch with the meat and all that. So I really appreciate you. Yeah. And yes, I really thank you. Thank God.
I just wanted to let y'all know, because I know I'm the bad guy. But it's partly the business, and Mama Kusun is also pursuing another career. She don't want me to say anything yet, so she'll tell you all about it when it's time. But we really appreciate everything. She don't have to shed any tears. I'm doing it for her. Ain't nothing wrong with men crying. But I really appreciate all the love and gratitude from everyone here. And we'll say it's always been, I'm not a member every day, but I am a member. It's always been in my heart. And I just want to say one little story. I remember when Kusun and I got married in 1990, and when Ashoka and Ashika got old enough, we brought them here to Omode. We were broke. We ride around in my truck. Hey, you may have a car to carry us around. And so she volunteered, because she was sitting at home most of the time, and so she volunteered and to kind of help offset tuition. And we'll say in Omode was always open to that. It's always been that way here, to help African people. And so she, when Ashika started first with my Uncle Nona, and she just went from preschool, skipped over the first grade to second grade, and just really excelled. And then Ashoka, my son, he's 21 now. And he came here, he was 4. And 3? 4. No, it was 4. So when he got here, he was still on the ninny, right? He was still on the press, right? And I remember Mama Jahi saying to me, Bobby, she pulled me this out, she said, Bobby, you got to take off. He wasn't getting anything, but it was so she was the one that kind of pulled him out of there and got him his drawing to stand up as a young man. So, this is good family for us, so we really appreciate it.
Well, Mama Kusun, I seen these paintings and I immediately thought of you. The tree is a root and a foundation, and as the branches and the leaves grow, that's growth. So I thought about you because you do build up the foundation for the children and give them room to grow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. I will be hopping in once in a while and kind of checking, see if things are going the way I used to run it.
Won't be the same. Won't be the same without you.
So I really appreciate this day. Thank you, all of you. It was really hard when I told Kelly and Baba Jahi that I wasn't coming after they left the classroom. I did cry. But today this is a moment of happiness here. Thank you again.
So at this time, on this joyous day of celebration, it's time for us to prepare for our litany of sacrifice. This is the time that we come together and pool our resources to help this community continue the work that it's been doing for so many years. As we know, Omode is a very important part of the Wose community, and we wouldn't be able to do
all that we do in the greater community, we wouldn't be able to continue to support Omode as a school without the help and assistance of folks like you. So today, our reading is from the Hosea, and that is the book that we use, one of our sacred books in the community. And you should find a copy of it on a chair near you. So our reading today comes from the Hosea on page 47. It's passage number 18. Sorry, it takes me a minute to read. Page 47, passage number 18. In the center of the page. And it says, "Be generous as long as you live. What goes into the storehouse should come out, for bread is made to be shared. Those whose bellies are empty turn into accusers, and those who are deprived become opportunists. See that none such as these are your neighbors. Generosity is a memorial for those who show it long after they have departed." And so the children or somebody will be coming around with a basket to collect your offerings. I know that we have been given a great gift. You know, prosperity is effortless. We know that the universe is prosperous. You know, the trees grow, we get an infinite amount of leaves and fruits and all these things that the Most High in the universe give us. And so we give thanks for that prosperity, encouraging the people who started Omode, who were people who were key to the formation of Bose. We give thanks that they kept their minds on growth and prosperity and had a vision and continue to work towards that vision as we do today. So if you will stand with me, we are going to recite the Litany of Sacrifice, and you can find it in the Worship Companion and Songbook, the Black Binders. It is on page 15 of the Worship Companion. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Amen-Ra, for it is good. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kusun shall live, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujima, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuwumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
All together, in mind, faith. We believe in all our hearts in our God, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggles. Amen. So the kneeling pads have been laid out in front of the altar. We invite you to come to the altar in prayer if you would like. Otherwise, you may be seated and take a posture that prepares you for prayer. So right here, right now, we focus our minds, we focus our attention on the gifts that have been given to each and every one of us by the Most High. We focus our minds and our attention, on all that is given to us each day, the prosperity that we experience through the universe, through the earth, through the wind and the trees, through the breath that we breathe every day. It's given to us. And for that, we are thankful. We don't take it for granted. All of those things that are given to us, even though we don't ask. We give thanks to you, Most High, Holy Spirits, and ancestors, for the guidance you give us. We know that no matter what problem we might be facing, what challenge we might come up against, we know that your knowledge is infinite, and you giving your knowledge to us will never cease. We hear your voice, we hear your words, we heed your words, and we ask that you just continue to walk with us, continue to guide us, continue to help us know what direction to go in and what to do. We thank you for the offerings that have been given to us today, both the intangible offerings that we feel with our hearts, the kind words that were shared about an educational warrior here in our community, and the good, the infinite good that she has done many, many children over the years. We also thank you for the tangible gifts that you have given us, the monetary donations. Please, Most High, help those to multiply, help those to stretch and go as far as they can to help us to continue to do your work, the work that we know you are directing us to do. We ask you to continue to strengthen our community and help us to stand on our own 2 feet economically, help us heal all illnesses, whether they be emotional, whether they be physical, whether they be financial. Help us all experience infinite health in all areas of our lives. We ask these words, we put them out into the universe, and we know that they cannot return to us void. We know that we are co-creators with you, Most High. We thank you for that blessing. We thank you for that gift. And we know that our words go forth, and the prayers that we have prayed are already done. And we anchor them in the universe by saying Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Always great when we can add a little bit extra and we can celebrate one of ours who has served us. And so this song is just about being thankful. Not just about being thankful. This song is about being thankful. So that's a great thing. Church of the African Way. And I am so thankful, so very thankful to be in Africa. Oh yes I am, yes I am, yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. Oh yes I am. And I love you, and you love me. It's the way it's supposed to be. It's God's destiny. It was meant to be. We should live together as one. And I am so thankful. I am so thankful. Oh yes I am. 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 Oh yes I am. In God's creation, hatred should never be. Love is the way to eternity. It's God's destiny. It was meant to be. We should live together as one. And I am so thankful. So thankful to be in Africa. Oh yes I am. 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 Oh yes I am. And I am so thankful. Are you thankful to be in Africa? Oh yes I am. 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 Oh yes I am. Thank you, Mama Kusun. Thank you, Papa. Take care. And I am so thankful. I am grateful. I am African. Oh yes I am. 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 Oh y'all sing with me. I am so thankful. So thankful. I am so thankful. Oh yes I am. 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 Oh yes I am. You should be too.
I'm around the tip. I'm around the tip. If you feel good this afternoon now, say Ashe. If you're proud to be African, say Ashe. If you are glad to be breathing freely, say Ashe. If you know that God is good all the time, say Ashe. We give thanks and praise to the one who created us, known by many names throughout the history of our people, sometimes known as Amen, that which is not seen. Sometimes known as Ra, symbolized by the sun, that which is visible to all humanity. Sometimes known as Olodumare, sometimes known as Allah, sometimes known as Jehovah, sometimes simply known as I am that I am. The African people always believe in God. Contrary to popular opinion, God is not dead. And even though sometimes the world seems like it's in so much trouble, and we ask the question, why would God let these things happen? We have to ask ourselves, why would we let these things happen? We worship an awesome and mighty Creator. The one who gives you every breath that you take for granted unless you have trouble breathing. The one who gave you every beat of your heart, which you take for granted unless you have a heart attack. Or not even full-blown heart attack. If your heart just skip a beat. And I'm not talking about that love feeling that my baby, my heart skipped a beat. I don't want my heart to skip a beat. Come on. You not that fine. God, the same God that gave you the smile on your face, the teeth in your mouth, the hands to build, the feet to walk, that mighty God who took your people from chattel slavery to this day. But before that, who directed Nile Valley culture and civilization, who let you build pyramids as reminders of your greatness even thousands of years later. The same God that Harriet Tubman prayed to on those midnight runs when she was trying to take people to physical freedom who had not yet spiritually freed themselves up. Harriet Tubman said if they had known they were slaves, I could have freed 1,000 more. The same God that Frederick Douglass prayed to on the eve of the Civil War, struggling over a decision of whether or not he should join in this battle, this conflict, and offer up his own children as soldiers, or whether he should go with Martin Delany and others who were saying, we need to go to Africa. I know that Frederick Douglass prayed hard that night because it wasn't a light decision to send his children into battle for a nation that he didn't believe he was part of. The God we worship, the God we praise is the same God of the ancestors long time ago and the ancestors more recent. It's the same God that our children will pray to. It's the same God that our great-grandchildren will give homage to by whatever name, by whatever practice they engage themselves in. If you're a real African, you got some kind of spiritual beliefs. If you're a real African, you got something you believe in that's bigger than you. If you're an African, you have compassion, forgiveness. You have a heart that's open to love. If you're doing something else and it doesn't match up to that, either you're not African or you haven't found your divine self. We come this morning in the name of our ancestors, the ones who created a way for us to be in this space, a way for us to understand a little bit about life, because they would leave us these lessons in their story, these lessons in their songs, in their movement, in their writings, that remind us that you have to live your life as an African. You can choose to be something else. But we have plenty of folks choosing to be colored, plenty of folks choosing to be Negro, plenty of folks choosing to be niggas, plenty of folks choosing to be all kinds of things other than African. It's your choice. You get to choose. And every generation has to choose and figure out in their own time and space how to be fully human. If God created you with that choice of wanting to be African, then you to be a fully divine individual means that you got to be fully African. Because you got to be what God made you to be. Come on. Ashe? And we look all kind of ways. You know, don't think somebody not African just because they had on a Sunday lady hat. Your grandma, some of them was more African than you ever be. Ashe? Let's be clear. Morgan Heritage had a son, he said, you don't have to dread to be Rasta. You don't have to lock to be African. You ain't even got to have hair to be African. You just got to live your values. Okay? I just want to talk for a minute. I'm not going to keep your time too much today. We want to talk just for a moment. Live your values and value your life. Live your values and value your life. I'm going to ask you to find your Hosea, and those of you who aren't familiar with Hosea, the Hosea is a basic part of the translation of these ancient words of beauty, the Medu Nefer, the beautiful speech of those Nile Valley Africans, and they were clear that they weren't the only Africans. But they left us a record. They left us a document, a set of documents. They left us reminders that should give us some consolation that we have done great things. That's right. That we knew how to live. And today, with our focus on the accomplishments of Omode and the accomplishments of Momma Kusun and Baba Naim, because I put y'all in it together. I know you don't do this by yourself. I know it takes a family to support an underpaid teacher at Omode. I know. When Baba Naim got them calls about Baba come fix the plumbing, and he gave us a break on the price. It wasn't, I did it for free. It wasn't because he just liked us so much. Mama Kusun was probably saying, Baba? She was nudging him. I know it, and he a good brother. We give thanks for their family, but we want to look at what our ancestors said about parenting. Because if you have your children in Omode, it means you are a conscientious parent. That's right. It means if you're a member of Hosea and you support Omode with your tithes, your with your volunteerism, with your music instruction, whatever it might be, you're doing it because you love black children. And you may not have your children yet biological, or ever have biological children, but if you work with kids, you're a parent.
Well, come on.
I come from a community where it didn't matter what your last name was. Everybody's mom and dad was your mom and dad.
Come on.
See, we got to get to that again. We got to get to that place where our children all know that I love them, even if they didn't come from me. I love you as much as the ones who live in my house. That's what it means to be African. Today, I want you to find page 42, passage number 5. We're going to read this passage together, and it's a bit of advice that comes from Ptahotep. He was a man who lived 5,000 years ago, and he was a leader in his community. He was a family person, which means he had children. He was married. He was a leader in his town as the mayor. He was a vizier, which meant he was essentially a prime minister to the nation. He was a person who was sought out for his great advice and wisdom. It's something, it's what, even in the Christian tradition, they say, seek after what? Wisdom. Every tradition believes in wisdom. Because wisdom is that sort of connection of facts and information and statistics, that information that you put together and figure out through experience how to live. Everybody who's living ain't wise.
Well, come on.
But if you wise, you got a better chance of living.
Well, come on now. Teach good.
Live your values and value your life. Here's what Ptahotep said as advice to parents and children. And again, parents broadly, caregivers, volunteers, whoever you are, if you care about children, this passage applies to you. Let's read this together. If you are parents of worth and wisdom, train your children so that they will be pleasing to God. And if they do what is right, following your example, and handle your affairs as they should, do for them all that is good. For they are begotten of your own heart and soul. Therefore, separate not your heart from them. But if they fail to follow your course, oppose your will, reject all counsel, and set their mouth in motion with vile words, then drive them away. For they are not your children and were not born for you. Those who are guided do not go wrong, but those who willfully lose their way will not find a straight course. Ashe. You have to let that one sink in a bit. Because everybody say, we just love our children. But that second half, that part, we're going to deal with that another day. I'm going to focus on this first part. But that part, if they fail to follow your course, oppose your will, reject our counsel, set their mouth in motion with vile words, have an attitude all the time, talk crazy, take your stuff, steal your belongings.
Well, come on.
Those children were not born for you. They might have come through you, but they're not for you. They now got to figure out their own way. But see, that's an end result. And in Western culture, we're quick to jump to the conclusion. We're quick to jump to the thing that's going to happen if you don't do this. But let's focus on the thing you're supposed to do. Many of us grew up hearing words like, you know better.
Teach. Come on. Yes, sir.
Think about that. Every time your parents said that to you, if you grew up in that kind of household, when you did something you weren't supposed to do, your parents would say, you know better.
You know.
You know better.
Come on.
And then you start talking about what everybody else did and who was with you. You know better. Your parents were saying, live your values and value your life. Our parents, and often, our parents didn't tell us the exact thing that they were talking about you weren't supposed to do. So sometimes you go to your own mental list. It's like, I don't remember him telling me I couldn't do that. You kind of go through that, somebody know what I'm talking about. You would go through that list in your head, and it wasn't so much they had said specifically, don't do this, don't do that, but you had an ethical framework.
There you go, teach.
To use another word, you had a philosophical paradigm.
Come on, teach.
You had a moral compass.
Come on now.
You had something that was guiding you to go right and not go wrong. And it wasn't as explicit as, but see, that's the values. Because values gets translated into situational decisions.
Come on.
Values gets translated into everyday practice. Live your values and value your life.
Come on, make it plain.
Our parents didn't have to tell us, do this and do that often. Because once they told you once, that was supposed to be it. Because why? Because they knew you were brilliant. They knew you could assimilate many different pieces of information and come up with the right thing to do and how to behave and how to talk and say, hello, Miss Williams. How you doing, Mr. Brown? Even though they might have been the winos on the street, you still gave them the respect of elders. Whether they respected themselves or not did not matter. Your parents had put you on a certain kind of course. And when they sent you to school, they expected the school to keep you on that same course. Live your values and value your life. On a Sunday, very much like today, some sisters came into Rose and said, we started a school this week. It's called Litany. And we're going to take all the little pre-K kids that are over at Mama Ying's house and we're just going to start a school.
That's right.
Now there's a backstory to that.
Okay, come on.
Because for several weeks and a couple of months and maybe a couple of years before that, the community had talked about having a school. Right. We had had meetings and feasibility studies. And the man was like, well, we don't know because, and the mama said, we started school this week. And it's called Omode. Because they knew they were going to have to live their values. We couldn't keep talking about educating some children. First of all, it was a very practical thing. And I'm sitting there being happy. Because Shanaka was about 3 years old. She's 29 now, just to give you a sense of the length of this. Yoga Stewart, Bombay Baby, another son, Quadana, and some other children. It wasn't, see, some things go from the abstract to reality. When the kids come, and they start growing, and they get off the ninny or not, and they do whatever they need to do to be ready, we got to be ready. Ashe? You can have all kinds of values like truth and justice and righteousness and harmony, reciprocity, order, mind. You can have the values of the Nguzo Saba, cooperative economics, collective work and responsibility, Kusun. You can have all those values, but until you live your values, you're not really an African. Until you live your values, you're not really a human being. Those sisters came into that space and said, we're going to start a school. And everybody else said, okay, what can we do to help? And that's how it's always been. It's a beautiful thing to look back at the history of Omode and understand that we've been doing this as a family, an extended family from day one. From day one. But that puts us in the tradition of other Africans. It puts us in the tradition of a Mr. Gunn, who lived in Texas during the time of chattel slavery in the mid-1800s. And there's a story that is told about him that says that Mr. Gunn wanted to escape the plantation. And we always had this vision of people escaping and going long distances away. But everybody didn't do it like that. Mr. Gunn escaped the plantation a few miles into the woods from where the plantation was. He dug a hole in the ground, big enough for him to live in. He covered the hole over. He camouflaged it. I don't know how the brother did it, but he a genius. There's all kinds of geniuses in the black community. He was a genius, and he lived out here, and he disappeared, and people didn't know what happened to him. And eventually, he went back to the plantation and found some of his children in the dead of night and said, I'm just right out here, but y'all can't tell nobody. And I'm going to teach you something I just am struggling to learn, which is how to read and write. He understood that if he could teach his children to read and write and teach them the values that they needed to get through life, that they would be okay. And for years, Gunn lived in that hole and taught other children from the community. And then his son grew up to be a teacher. When chattel slavery had ended, his son was a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse in Texas. See, this is how we do it. This is how we do. We'll make a way out of no way. And then we get better and better. You know, they started with that dream, and now we're putting out financial reports. Well done. Well done. We're not perfect. We got a lot still to do. But we're just like Mr. Gunn. We're just like Booker T and George Washington Carver. When they went there to start Tuskegee so your daughter could go to school. They didn't have a big pot of money to work with. But they had what Dr. Hill in Little Rock at the Arkansas Baptist College calls want to. They had want to. Sometimes you ain't got money. Sometimes you ain't got friends. Sometimes you just got to have want to. Everybody say want to. Want to. Or you can say it the way it says, want to. Want to. If you got want to, You can get a lot done, Mama Jahi, you know this. Sometimes you just want to have every child have a computer. You didn't know how you was going to do it, but you said we're going to make sure every kid get a computer. Sometimes you just want to have kids eat good food every day. Be asking Mama Rose, where more green? I want some more greens, Mama Rose. Sometimes you just want to have a building, you just want to. If you don't want to, you can't. Ashe? It ain't nothing fancy about that. If you don't want to, you can't. If you don't want to be a divine child of God, you can't. If you don't want to be a good parent, you won't. If you don't pay attention to what the ancestors are teaching with Booker T's example and Carter's example, they lived their values. And they valued their life. We're trying to work with mind, body, and spirit of our children. We want to serve the whole child. Because that's one of the most African things you can do is be comprehensive. We have all kind of words for this. We be comprehensive in our approach. We're going to have a core standard that every child will understand. But the point is, we want to work with the mind, the body, and the spirit of every child that comes through our door. That's right. We don't explicitly say you got to be a part of Rose, but when you see teachers like Kusun who love your children, that's spirit. When you see teachers like Mama Jahi did, when she loved them kids up, that's spirit. When you saw Teresa Lewis teaching children how to sing, that's spirit. When you see Baba Boubacar being stern but loving them kids, that's spirit, y'all. That's what the school is about at every level, from Mama Pam and Sister Kelly to everybody that works in the school. Mind, body, and spirit. When I started thinking about my own education versus my schooling. Because there's a difference between your education and schooling. If you put education in big bold letters, put schooling as a part of that. Because what you need to know in life to be an educated person, it does not all happen at school. When I was on the school board for 8 years, Oakland Unified, 52,000 kids in the district, you had parents coming like dropping their kids off and saying, okay, y'all got it. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. This ain't what's supposed to happen. You got your role too. When I was in law school, we learned something about this concept called in loco parentis, which means a Latin term, which means that you're in the proximity, so you have to act like a parent. Ashe? If you close, that's some old school stuff. We didn't call it in loco parentis in Poundville, Arkansas, but that's what was going on. And I don't mean loco parentis, like crazy parents. I'm not talking about that in loco, in location, in proximity to. Ashe?
Make it plain, make it plain.
But when I was in law school, we studied a lot about the cases, but nobody was talking to me about what kind of character do you need to have as a lawyer. How you going to handle people's business and be honest about it. When I was in college at Northwestern University and we were trying to get fair resources for students on their campus, nobody sat me down as a black person and said, here's how African children should behave. Here's how you should behave as a student. So I didn't get it in law school.
Come on.
I didn't get it at Northwestern. And I go back to my high school. And it started to get a little bit there because in my high school there were people who knew my parents. Who were also teachers. My parents were teachers in the public school. There were people in Pine Bluff, in Dialoge High School who said, oh, that's Greg Hodge. We expect a lot out of you. And they expect a lot of all the children. But I started getting my character, who I am as a person, who I am as an adult is based on what I got starting at home. Dialoge High School. And I go back and think about my coaches. When I was in high school, I was 5'10". I'm 6'4" now. So I was a 5'10", can't jump, can't touch the rim kid on the basketball team.
Come on.
And Coach Theodis Broughton let me make the team every year. And it wasn't because I could play basketball. And I didn't know until like my last track meet of my last year in high school that Coach Broughton put something in my ear. He said, Hodge, come here. It was at the meet of champs. I was an all-state miler and 2 milers. See, that's something that they say black people can't do. Right. So, see, that's one of them, right? And I was better than basketball, but I didn't get no playing time. My sister Millicent used to tease me mercilessly. She'd come home from the game and say, how many points you score? How many rebounds you get? I was like, yeah, you just wait. But Coach Broughton, I never got no playing time. I still led it in basketball. And Broughton said, Greg, I want to tell you something. He's an adult. He said, I really respect you. Because you played for me all those years. You sat on the bench. You never complained. That's right. You just came out every year and did your best. And you were the guy that was the guy who was really setting a role model to be the conditioner, the physical, physical conditioning. Because I'll run you up and down the road. Like he used to send the basketball team out to run. I'd be like, come on, y'all. I'm a miler. These cats can barely run 50 yards. But he said your role was to help everybody else get in shape. Now, when you're 15, 16 years old, you don't care nothing about that. You care about like you didn't play me. You didn't give me no playing time. But as I got older, I had to appreciate it. See, that builds character. And having adults, say something to you and reinforce that makes a difference when you're a kid. Live your values. Value your life. If I go further back into grade school, it was partly school, but it was also church. It was a Highland Missionary Baptist Church where you had to get up and do public speaking the same way we saw those two children come up this morning. It was that you had to have some role. You had to have something you did. So our training, our spiritual training was based on being in a spiritual community. Ashe? Ashe. This morning, as I end this, I want to just say that, our children's education here is more than just reading and writing and technology. It is understanding how to be in relationship. It is understanding the divine within you. It's understanding how to live your values for your whole life. For your whole life, even when a person is making their transition. And Sister Chantel talked about a family member. We keep that family member in prayer. Because it's like my lesson with my mother. My mother's life is ending. I know this. And so I'm okay with it. And more importantly, she's okay with it. I spent a Sunday or two ago with my mother. And some of you have heard me tell this story. She was in the hospital at the time. She's out of the hospital now because my mother's thing is like, I want to be at home. When I pass, I want to be at home. And she said, my body is breaking down. I got too much stuff going on to figure it out anymore. I just want to be comfortable. She said she's not in any pain. I go in the hospital room that Sunday morning. She's looking out the window, a bright sunny day. And when I walked in, it was like she was having a conversation with somebody because she was. And she said, she was looking out the window and she said, they're antsy. They want to know when we going to be ready. When are we coming? And then I've never seen anybody dance like this too often. Where you can have one foot with the ancestors and one foot right here. And she looked back into the room and she looked at me and she was fully present. And with that mischievous look in my mother's eye, she said, they want to know if we ready. I love my mother very much. I said, wait a minute now. I said, what you mean we? I said, we ready. I said, Mom, you know me that you trained me to stay ready. Stay ready. But this depends on for what. Let's be clear about this. See, my mother, she ready. She ready. And the thing is, my mother's a retired. I would say I'm gonna change my language based on what I'm about to say. I used to always say that my mother's a retired educator. My mother's not a retired educator. My mother's a retired school principal. Because she's still educating. She's still teaching me. I'm sharing with you, she's still teaching me that there's a way to live and there's a way to die. There's a way to be here and there's a way to go. And my mother's doing it with the grace and the beauty of a queen. She's like, look, I'm done. I came, I did my thing. I worked in school for 42 years. I raised your sisters and gave you a sense of values. I had a 35-year marriage that was happy until your father passed. I cooked. I gardened. I was in every possible club and organization, from Delta to NAUW to the Arkansas Teachers Association. I found a little award sitting on my mama's desk that I didn't even know about. It was an award that said, thank you for 25 years of being the president of the Arkansas Region Association. Mama did so much stuff I don't even know, right? She probably did so much stuff she forgot, right? She's teaching me how to live. Because if you live your values, whatever you say you believe in, if you live your values, then you're going to value your life. And if you value your life, you're going to value the lives of your children. And if you value the lives of your children, then your community is going to get better. And if you value and work in your community, then your neighborhood, your city, your country is going to be better. It's not going to be this selfishness that we see in Congress. It's not going to be the negativity we see sometimes on our streets. It's not going to be that lackadaisical so-called leadership we have in the mayor's office. It's not going to be city council people who bicker and fight and don't get work done. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that.
That's right.
Live your life. Live your values and value your life. Ashe. Invite you to stand with us this morning. If there's someone here who wants to join us in this work, if you have not made a commitment to God in your life, we invite you to come now as we form our semi-circle, circle something. It's going to be interesting. We got a lot of folks in here today. We're asking circle up, and we're going to close this out. We want to again welcome our visitors, the first-time visitors, anyone who has not spent time with us. We're happy to have you here.
Yes.
The little children are just so beautiful. The Leah got her bi-file dress on. And I'm going to ask any quick announcements, not long announcements, quick announcements. Mama Afua has printed announcements for us, sent it out by email. Are there any other announcements that we can make this morning?
The outreach committee meets on Thursday.
Thank you. We have a second session of Sister Rahima's class on nutrition and soul food. We had a little bit technical glitch this morning, but it's going to be good. So please come 9 o'clock next Sunday morning if you're interested in that class. Any other announcements? Mama Afua?
Just remember that the newsletter now is electronic. And we have like a little handout for those of you that need to know a little detail about the newsletter, the Pan-African Affairs newsletter. It's over here. And please put in your memory that the Ma'afa for this year is going to be on the 13th of October, Sunday, at the beach in San Francisco as usual. There'll be details in the newsletter as well.
And we won't be here. We won't be having service here in honor of that. So we encourage people to go. Any other quick announcements? Any Omode events coming up? Anything?
The Life is Living Festival is happening on the 12th. And Omode will say we have a table.
Oh, nice.
So parents, if you and WOSA members want to sign up to help us work the table, please see me or Mama Kelly.
The Infirmary Park starting at 10 or noon? 10?
Yes.
Infirmary Park, West Oakland. All right. I think that's it. Lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as a roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Now to the ones who are able to keep us from falling, the ones who have taught us for countless generations that we are one people,
One people,
having one faith,
one faith,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny,
one destiny,
one God.
one God.
Let us call that name that our ancestors taught us for countless generations. Let us all say, Amen. You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. Any birthdays this week? Birthdays. Celebrating birthdays this week? What birthday?
And please remember, we break bread after every service, so please stay and eat.
All right.
Yeah, that is so
Everybody
good.
looks
Yeah.
Like everybody else is
fine.
And when they get ready,
fired up today.
yeah, the day was awesome.
I did.
You didn't say?
No, can I set it on your drum for you so you can? I don't know. Did it come back?
Yeah, I got a lot of signatures. You can sign and give Greg to sign. I got another card we're gonna have the kids writing. Maybe it become big. It might be.